The story begins by indicating that the time was the year 1976. We see a school bus, driven by a man named Muhammad, who, as usual, was picking up children from their homes and heading towards school. Inside the bus, some kids were studying, while others were busy chatting. Just then, a strange man suddenly barges into the bus. He points a gun at the driver and says, "Do exactly as I say. If you try to be smart, I'll blow your head off with this gun." The driver, terrified by the man's threat and the sight of the weapon, obeys his orders and drives the bus in the direction the man instructs. That man turns out to be the leader of a Somali militia group. For those who don't know, militia refers to the rebel or guerrilla groups in Somalia that work against the ruling government. Before long, more militia members climb into the bus, and together they hijack the entire vehicle. A little later, when another schoolboy tries to board the bus, his father notices that some men have kidnapped the bus. Realizing this, he starts running after it, shouting for help, but it's of no use. The bus speeds away with his son inside. Meanwhile, we see the school, where a teacher is waiting in the classroom for the children to arrive. As time passes and none of the students show up, she goes outside to find out what's going on. There she learns that the school bus carrying the children has not yet arrived. Hearing this, she becomes anxious and starts worrying about the kids. On the other hand, the scene shifts back to the school bus. The militia leader inside the bus is identified as Yusuf. Yusuf orders the driver to head straight toward the border. The driver obeys and drives as instructed. At one point, a small child asks Yusuf, "Aren't we going to school? Why is it taking so long today?" Hearing this, Yusuf becomes furious and strikes the child hard, knocking him to the floor. Witnessing such brutality, the other children in the bus become terrified and start crying silently. Yusuf shouts, "Everyone keep quiet. If anyone talks, I'll throw you out of the bus." Meanwhile, the driver notices that the military is following them. So he begins to slow the bus down, hoping for help. But once Yusuf realizes this, he yells, "If you dare slow down again without my permission, I'll blow your head off right here." Frightened, the driver speeds up the bus again. Yusuf and his militia members then start shooting back at the military vehicles from the rear of the bus. The sound of gunfire terrifies the children even more. They don't know what to do or what's happening. Amid this chaos, the bus finally reaches the Somali border. However, the military had already set up barbed wire barriers there. As a result, the bus tires get punctured before it can cross, and the vehicle veers off the road. By that time, the border had been sealed. In truth, Yusuf and his militia had planned to smuggle the bus full of children across into Somalia. But a single mistake ruined their plan. They were now trapped within the country itself. The military soon catches up and surrounds the area. Seeing this, Yusuf becomes enraged. He points his gun at the driver and orders him to get out of the bus, then shouts toward the soldiers, "If anyone dares to move closer, it'll be impossible for you to save these children." The scene then shifts to the French government. This event, after all, took place in 1976, during the period when Djibouti was still a French colony. The government learns that a group of Somali bandits has kidnapped a school bus full of children and is trying to smuggle them into Somalia. Upon hearing this, they send military forces to the border area, but that alone isn't enough. So the French government contacts one of the world's most elite sniper teams, each member a highly skilled assassin-level marksman. We then meet the team leader, Andre. Andre had just returned from a massive operation a few days earlier, but when the government informs him about this mission, he doesn't hesitate. He immediately agrees to rescue the children. Despite being injured and recovering in a hospital, Andre decides to leave right away, determined to save the children's lives. At his command, all his team members quickly regroup. They are then prepared to be flown to Djibouti in a special aircraft. Meanwhile, the story returns to the schoolteacher, whose name is Jenny Anderson. When Jenny learns that her students have been kidnapped along with the bus, she starts investigating and eventually reaches the border area. Ignoring everyone's warnings, she tries to approach the bus, prompting a police officer to stop her. He says, "Where are you going? You can't go any further." But Jenny replies, "I want to talk to the kidnappers." The officer refuses, asking, "And who are you anyway?" Jenny answers, "I'm their schoolteacher. It's my responsibility to save them." Still, the officer insists she stay back, warning that the area is extremely dangerous. As they argue, the the military general arrives and calls the officer over. While he's distracted, Jenny takes the chance to slip past and runs toward the bus. The other officers try to stop her but fail. At that moment, Yusuf, the militia leader, sees Jenny approaching. He steps out of the bus, holding a small child in front of him, and starts firing at her repeatedly. Fortunately, none of the bullets hit Jenny. Yusuf asks her, "Who are you? And why have you come this way?" "I already told you. If anyone steps forward toward the bus, I'll finish them all. Where did you get the courage to come here? Tell me honestly, who are you? A member of the military?" Hearing this, Jenny answers, "No. The children you've kidnapped, I am their schoolteacher. But I'm not French. I'm American." On hearing that, Yusuf calms down for a moment, because the militia disliked the French. Jenny tells Yusuf that she wants to help take care of the children, and since she is not French, Yusuf agrees and lets her onto the school bus where all the children are. Once inside, Jenny soothes the kids and tells them that if they need anything or have any problems, they should tell her. There's no need to be afraid. Jenny then notices that all the children on the bus are terribly hungry. Meanwhile, Andre and his sniper team have already reached Djibouti. After arriving, Andre and his team prepare their weapons and get ready to move toward the border. Shortly afterward, they set off. On the way, evening falls. Back at the bus, Jenny is watching over the children. At that moment, she sees the child Yusuf had struck. His face is badly wounded and still bleeding. Distressed, Jenny goes straight to Yusuf and tells him, "The child you beat is in very bad condition. We should send him to the military. He needs medical treatment." Yusuf begins to threaten Jenny and replies that it's impossible. Not a single child will be returned from here. If they die, so be it. I have no problem with that. But Jenny is not the type to give up. She tells Yusuf again that if he won't send the boy for treatment, then at least arrange some medicine for him. Yusuf refuses even that, and Jenny walks away. A short time later, Andre's sniper team arrives. The military personnel are surprised to see them. No one had expected them there. The soldiers behave roughly at first, questioning why Andre's team is present. Andre explains they were sent by the French government to rescue the school bus from the kidnappers. They are the famous sniper team. Upon hearing this, the military calms down and brings the sniper team inside to brief them on their internal plan. While speaking with Andre, the military general recognizes Andre's father. At least he knows of him. And after some further discussion, they begin planning how to rescue the children. Andre tells the general that because they are snipers, their plan is to take positions quietly and, when the moment comes, eliminate them all at once in a single instant. The general replies that it's not as simple as Andre makes it sound. Andre answers that he already brought detailed information about the militia before coming. They plan to send the children across the Somali border. There are more militia members on the other side, and once across they will traffic the children around the world. They will do this the moment the Somali border opens. Therefore, they have only 24 hours. Everything must be done within that time. Someone then reports that the militia is making a move. Andre orders his sniper team to take up their positions and tells everyone that when he gives the shot, they must all fire simultaneously. Otherwise, the targets might be missed. Everyone takes their positions and begins watching the militia. Quietly and bravely, Andre approaches the bus under cover of darkness. As he nears, he hears Jenny's voice asking to step outside. When Jenny comes out and sees Andre in the darkness, she screams, but Andre immediately signals for her to be quiet. Yusuf hears her scream and asks, "What's wrong? Why are you shouting?" To cover up, Jenny lies to Yusuf and says she saw a snake, which is why she screamed. The plan continues to go as arranged. All members of the sniper team are in position in the dark. At that moment, the lights of the military camp are switched on. It turns out the general had activated them. With the lights on, Andre is clearly visible and cannot escape to the camp. This exposes him to the militia, ruining their entire plan. After this happens, the two teams confront the general angrily. Why did he behave so foolishly? Meanwhile, they find some guards and inform them. The guards respond angrily, saying the lights will not be turned off. That's the rule here. You must operate with the lights on. Upon hearing this, a heated argument breaks out between the two groups, the sniper team and the military. One thing leads to another, and when a military member insults one of the snipers, a sniper retaliates by punching him. The situation escalates into a full-blown clash. By then, Andre has reached the general and tells him, "You shouldn't have done this. You're the reason this whole plan failed. Turn those lights off as soon as you can." But the general replies, "That won't happen. These lights will stay on all night." Hearing that, Andre tries hard to persuade the general, but the general considers himself all-knowing and refuses to listen. Andre tells him, "You don't understand how much danger you've just put us and the children on that bus in. If you have another plan, tell me now and we'll quiet down. Otherwise, we'll do what we must." But the general has no alternate plan, so Andre is forced to leave. Meanwhile, we see Jenny standing outside smoking a cigarette. A short while later, Yusuf approaches her and says, "You're a brave and clever woman. You should go back now. But I won't let these children go." Back with Andre and his team, they clean their weapons and argue with the general. They tell him, "We only need one shot. With that one shot, we can finish them all. There are only 4 of us plus me, 5 in total. Each of us will take a single target and, at the right moment, we'll take them all down together. That's how we'll rescue the children unharmed." When the general hears this, he finally agrees. At that moment, they receive a call from the French authorities. The government says they want to talk to the militia kidnappers to discover their motives first. Until then, nobody is to attack. The mission is suddenly called off. Andre falls silent. His master plan has been ruined. But he cannot remain quiet for long. At dawn, he and his team move out anyway to carry out their plan. Waiting any longer will make it impossible to rescue the children. So they take up positions and start watching the militia. After a short time, they notice a military vehicle approach the bus carrying food. 2 soldiers are in the vehicle. One goes onto the bus to deliver food. At that moment, one child approaches behind him, and an argument starts between the child and Yusuf. The children begin to shout and fuss, demanding to be freed. Yusuf grows frightened by the commotion and, at one point, shoots that soldier. Seeing the shooting, all the children fall silent with fear. Andre and his team watch these events from a distance. Yusuf's cruelty terrifies Jenny. Later, when Yusuf goes outside, Jenny approaches him again and pleads that the boy he struck is in very bad condition and should be returned or at least receive medical attention. Yusuf laughs and says that it doesn't matter if all the children die. Nothing here will change. He says no medical team will come, no military help will arrive. Everything will stay as it is, and if Jenny has a problem, she can leave. Andre returns to the military camp and tells the general that the militia leader has just killed one of your soldiers. Will you remain silent? If you want, we can finish them now. There's still time. Otherwise, in 2 or 3 hours, the Somali border will open and the militia will cross with the children. Then you'll be powerless. Even after Andre says this, the general remains silent. Seeing the generals in action, Andre tells his team to call in everyone on position because they have no permission to fire. They are forced to sit and watch the militia's rampage. In other words, Andre is openly insulting the military. At that moment, Jenny returns, accompanied by the boy whose face had been injured. It turns out the militia released them so the child could receive treatment. As soon as they arrive, the medical team immediately takes the boy for treatment. Andre uses this chance to speak with Jenny. He asks what the militia's plan is next. Jenny says they have kept their plan secret. They just want to cross the Somali border once, and after that the real game begins. She has no idea exactly what they intend to do with the children, but she believes it will be for very bad purposes. Andre shares his plan with Jenny and tells her they will attack the militia very soon. Until then, she should stay careful. The militia leader returns, and Andre and his team again take their positions. They learn the militia is waiting for another bus to come from across the Somali border. They will load the children onto that bus and leave. Meanwhile, Andre's team has already fixed their targets on every militia member inside the bus. Now they only waited for Andre's permission. When they asked Andre for permission, he told them, "There's no need to shoot yet. First, let's assess the situation. This is a border area. If we fire and any bullets somehow cross the border, it could spark a terrible war between the 2 countries. So we must act carefully. For now, we'll wait. If the situation comes within reach, fine, but if it gets out of hand, then we'll have to shoot." Andre sees a bus coming from Somalia and realizes the situation is slipping out of control. So without delay, he orders all his team members to fire. Because they had already pre-locked targets on the militia inside the bus, Andre's command is executed immediately. In an instant, every militia member on the bus is shot and falls. The job is done, But the problem is there are more militia members at the border whom Andre's team did not know about. That creates a major crisis. The other militia members across the Somali border cannot tell where the gunfire is coming from, and when they spot Andre's team positions, they begin firing continuously at them. In moments, a horrific battle breaks out. When Andre's team fires once, the militia return 10 rounds. Still, the militia cannot match the sniper team, because Andre's team are professional sniper killers. Once they fix a target, there's virtually no chance of survival. The fighting continues like this. During the battle, several members of the sniper team gradually move toward the bus and begin attacking the militia from there. At some point, the militia realize many of their men have been killed and only a handful remain. They decide to flee from the 5 snipers. By then, Andre reaches the bus and begins rescuing all the children. Andre and his team believe they had saved every child, but after pulling everyone out, they find one child lying on the ground who had been shot and is already dead. The sniper team and the teacher are heartbroken. Their aim had been to bring everyone out unharmed, but they failed. When Andre returns to camp, he sees the general celebrating and telling everyone, "We've won." Andre is furious. The general had not intervened or helped the mission and had acted contrary to saving the children. Andre tells the general he should be ashamed. If he had shown courage and supported them earlier, the little child would still be alive. Still, Andre is glad they were able to save most of the children. Shortly after, the children's parents arrive and are overjoyed to see their kids. Because of this daring operation, Andre's team is given a name, GIGN, the French elite sniper team, who carried out the fastest and most precise rescue operation in history to save a school bus full of kidnapped children. And that is where the story ends. Don't forget to comment to let me know what you think. If you liked the video, hit like and share it with your friends. One special request, please subscribe to the channel quickly. Thank you.